Welcome to another jam-packed MMA episode of the Kick 'em in the Head podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Yao. Tonight it is the watch along for Whittaker versus the Ritter. Let's get it, let's go. So far we are on the main card. And if we have a look at the main card, these are your winners on the night so far. The fight between Nikita Krylov and Bogdan Guskov has started with a hectic knockdown by Bogdan Guskov. Oh no! Nikita Krylov. Krylov is getting smashed. Come on, Krylov, do something, bro. Use your experience. He's about to get finished. Krylov is finished. Well, that's a fun way to come into the stream. Nikita Krylov just got finished. That was my pick. Um, got me a bit stressed in the first card, just like that. But welcome, everyone. Congratulations, Bogdan Guskov, first round finish of Nikita Krylov at UFC Abu Dhabi. Yeah, so let's have a look at how the card has gone so far. So far on the card, we had the first fight being won by Budey beating Pachecha in the first fight. It was a hard-fought three-round war between the two heavyweights, and Budey came out on top. So as you see these picks, the green circle are my picks for the fight night. The red X is who has lost the fight. Ooh, there's a nasty right hook from Guskov to knock down Krylov. Then the second fight of the night, we had Yaya losing to Nguyen. Third fight of the night, we had Aslan, my pick, losing to Billy Elkana. In the next fight, Tabitha Ritchie, the first women's fight, the only women's fight on the card, Tabitha Ritchie, Baby Shark, beat Amanda Ribas. Then Davy Grant unexpectedly came through with the experience, another three-round war to defeat the Mont Blackshear very convincingly. Then we had Muslim Salikov, my age mate, coming through with a first round KO of Carlos Liao. Absolutely clocked him. Right hook, done. Then the final fight of the prelims, Bryce Mitchell, 3 rounds, came through with the victory against Said Nurmagomedov. And we've just witnessed the victory by Bogdan Guskov over Nikita Krylov. Sucks, but let's go. Good fight night so far. To everyone who is watching, to everyone who is live, thank you so much for joining me. Much appreciated. We will be catching the rest of this main card. Hopefully, we will have some other guests on the show joining us. But if you are watching live, welcome. If you're watching on playback, welcome. Let's go. Okay. Oh, a bit gutted by that one, honestly. I thought Krylov was going to put in a little bit more of a show, but Guskov absolutely finished him. Clean knockout. Very clean knockout. Let's see if anyone else wants to hop on this watch along. Next week we're back at the Apex in Las Vegas for a fantastic fight between one of the competition and the Logan 125 Gucci. When it wraps, Reinier our party, we train globes for Japanese bullying. And now for the official decision brought to you by DAV, Disabled American Veterans, keeping our promise to Americans. Oh, that's not too loud. You guys can't hear my screen. Let's not get any copyright infringements on this one. And let's actually go to Twitter. Let's see what the Twitterverse is saying about this fight so far. Bogdan, the Rebel, Guskov. So far on the card, though, the fights have been fairly decent. I think if I look at it, my favorite fight so far would be the Tabitha Ritchie elbow to the eye. That was some vicious work because Ribas was giving her a very hard time. Ribas was doing quite well in keeping her back with her reach. She looked bigger, she looked heavier. It looked like Ritchie was going to be struggling, and then she managed to get her against the cage, hold her up against the cage. Good clinch game, kept the double leg, throwing the elbows. One elbow caught Ribas's eye, and the fight was over. I think I was very, very impressed by that win. And then Bryce Mitchell as well. He got dropped in the first round by Said Nurmagomedov, and he managed to come back and he managed to actually win that fight. So shout out to Bryce Mitchell for that. Actually, not. It's actually been a good night. Then Muslim Salikov, another deadly right hand, just like the Bogdan Guskov win a couple of seconds ago. So I've been enjoying the fight so far. It's been lots of KOs, lots of KOs. Anthony Smith, Anthony Smith's lookalike, has just won that fight, says MMA Data Guy on Twitter. Yep. And we got Basement Jack. So if anyone is watching, you can follow us. We are in the underdogs competition on the Fight Week show, where we run an underdogs competition every week to see which underdogs will come through and win. And Basement Jack, shout out to Basement Jacks, making the walk. Do follow them. Subscribe to Making the Walk on YouTube. But he's at the bottom of the table. I was at the top for 13 weeks, and I keep saying it because it hurts me that I'm now third. But let's see what happens after this fight night. I think I'm going right back into second and heading right back to the top for third, for first, I mean. And oh gosh, Walter Volker's in the corner of Bogdan Guskov. Okay, they train together. Nice. Interesting. Let's get the Guskov win up there, actually. Krylov, you suck, bro. That hurt. Cooked you. It was a hell of a right hand. To anyone who is watching the chat, what you thought about the fight so far? Which fight was your favorite? Which fight are you looking forward to on the main card? And with all these KOs, who do you think is going to get KO'd? And actually, what do you think is going to happen in the main fight between Robert Whittaker and Reinier de Ritter? Bobby Knuckles, we know, is, let's say, one of the best middleweights out there right now, and definitely one of the best middleweights to ever do it. But he's had a hard time since his loss to Izzy. A few decent wins, like his win against Aliskerov, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't really favor him this fight. I think Reinier de Ritter's wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu will be too much for him. I don't think he's got the right momentum right now. He's Yeah, I don't think he's got what it takes. So I've gone with Reinier de Ritter in that fight to win by submission. Most likely, at least as I see it, in the first round. So what do you guys have? What do you guys predict? Live prediction show. This is not a prediction show, it's a watch along. What is going on? Ooh, Dana White Contender Series coming up. Interesting. Oh, okay. My doppelganger says that he is going, she is going, it is going for Robert Bobby the Reaper Whittaker. Okay. Yes, my doppelganger, you are wrong. So, okay, cool. How fun. How fun. Making picks in contradiction to myself, if you will. Hey, where am I? There. Let's update this card now. Let's include the Bogdan Guskov win. That was a very good win from him. He absolutely starched Nikita Krylov. And there we go. Oopsie. I hope that ain't right. Guskov did not lose that fight. He won that fight. That's my bad. Then we'll turn to what Twitter is saying. Nasty business. Yeah, I'm definitely with Peter Yan. Peter Yan, he's definitely an absolute killer. I think his not just experience, but the skill he has is going to really shine through in his fight against McGee, who's in his first co-main. He's now getting to the top, but Peter Yan's going to definitely take this one, I believe. So as Max Holloway says, let's count it up. How many fights have I gotten right? How many have I gotten wrong? So far, first fight, got it wrong. Damn. Well done, Bidet. Second fight, got it right. Stephen Guyen. Let's get it, let's go. Third fight, got it wrong. That one was rather disappointing from Ibo Aslan, to be honest. Expected him to do a lot better than he did. So I got that pick wrong. Then the next fight, we had Baby Shark, Tabitha Ritchie coming through the victory. Got that one right. Then David Grant showed his absolute vicious skill, his long term, long running experience came through very strongly in his fight against Damon Blackshear. Damon Blackshear, I think, had one takedown in the first round. That was his only takedown. Then after that, he couldn't manage a takedown for the following 3 rounds. That was just because David Grant was stuffing every single takedown. So shout out to David Grant there. Then the next fight, got that one right. At least Muslim Salikov, first round KO of Carlos Liao. Then in the next fight, we had Bryce Mitchell coming through with the victory over Said Nurmagomedov. 3 rounds, but Bryce did it. He got it. He was very, very, very skillful on the ground. It was a lot of groundwork from both fighters, but Bryce Mitchell's grappling, his sweeps managed to keep him on top, managed to win him that fight. He ground that fight out, and congrats to Bryce Mitchell. Got that one right. Then in the first fight on the main card, that one, got that one wrong. Bogdan Gustav clear clocked and absolutely destroyed Nikita Krylov, despite the experience. Gustav won. Shut up, Lane. Yes, Lane, I am live and I am not muted. I am not muted. And I do not believe I'm going to have any network issues tonight, which is a miracle in and of itself. I'm so glad. But thank you so much for joining me, Lane. Much appreciated. Always great having you on the stream. So thank you for joining me tonight. And now we're about to see the walk-in of the next fight, the flyweight bout between Asu Omobayev and Jose Ocha. Now we've got this flyweight. Let's see, where are you guys? Asumba. This is a flyweight division fight. Omobayev coming in at 21-3, with Ocha coming in at an 8-1. Omobayev coming off a loss to Manel Kapp, and Ocha coming off a win against Cody Durden in his last fight. Odds have Omobayev as the favorite and Ocha as the very near even, I'm assuming it's live odds, very near even underdog. 31 being Almabayev in terms of age, and 24, Jose Ocha. Let's see how this fight goes. The Tapology community favors Almabayev by 68%. I've selected Almabayev in this fight. I've gone with him as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Hopefully not running like he did in the Manal Cup fight. I really didn't enjoy that. He was dancing the entire fight. All 3 rounds, he danced. Shout out to my doppelganger. For the next fight, my doppelganger is going with Ocha. My doppelganger does not like to play it safe. Well, what are we going to do? Lane, talk to me. What you up to tonight? Are you watching the fights? Are you enjoying the fights? What's happening with you tonight, Lane? Now, let's quickly see what the Twitterverse is saying about these fights so far. Uh-oh. You know what happens when you have too many Twitter accounts. Don't talk about those links, McDane. Shout out McDane, Rambling Dad Podcast. You can find them on YouTube and him on YouTube and Instagram at the Rambling Dad Podcast. Do subscribe to that channel. Great work they do. Other guys to subscribe to if you're looking for great MMA content. Making the Walk, Crossover MMA. I already said Rambling Dad Podcast. The Fight Week Show, of course. Ola, Leroy from the Fight Week Show. Great guys out there. We've also got S Dogs MMA Talk. Sterling runs that. And then, of course, MMA Normally, Olin, one and only Olin, who goes to every single Comic Con. This year, he's going as Wolverine. Shout out, Olin. Looking good there with your clothes, bro. But yeah, do subscribe to all those channels. Great MMA content. All those channels do put out. We do shows with them every Wednesday, every Friday. You can definitely sign in. Lane's always there. Let's see. Mackenzie Dern. Nope, that's not what we're looking for. Twitter. We are looking for. Let me actually put it up here. Let me see if I can give you guys a view of my Twitter accounts. Nothing naughty, I promise. Otherwise, I get banned by YouTube, and I don't want that, do I? Or do I? Let's see. Let's get it. As Asu Amabayev to the okay. Trip Vic. Shout out Trip Vic. Always great having you in the chats. Always great having you on the stream. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Much appreciated. Change your pick from who to who, doppelganger. What pick do you want to make? Antoine. Excellent. Okay, let's get into the Twitterverse and what the Twitterverse has to say about this fight night. My doppelganger says that they want to change their picks from Ocha to Omabayev. Okay, look, I'll allow it, but I mean, who am I at the end of this day, right? And having looked there, so this is a scene, this is a picture from the fight between, gosh, who is this again? That's the fight between, how can I remember whose eye that is? You're kidding. That was the fight between, oh, there we go. It was between, what's it? That was Muhammad Yahya. There we go. There we go. That was Muhammad Yahya. So this that you see there is the eye of Muhammad Yahya. He got bludgeoned, absolutely bludgeoned by Stephen Guyen. Terrible, terrible eye. So it was a doctor stoppage in the end. And that's what he looked like at the end of his fight between him and Stephen Guyen. Absolutely nasty work there from Stephen Guyen, resulting in a
27, 30, 27, and 29, 28. Over your winner by unanimous decision, of Susie.
And the comment that Figgy saying, bro did nothing for 15 minutes, then acted like he got robbed. Look, fair enough. Fair enough. He didn't really
30,
do much.
27,
If you look
30,
at it,
27,
he
and
kept getting tagged by Alicana, and then he didn't do anything. So I agree completely with King Figgy there, where he says that bro acted like he got robbed, whereas he did nothing for 15 minutes. So you want to be an MMA fighter, says ESPN MMA. Well, that's what you get when you're an MMA fighter. You get those nasty, nasty cuts. So what are you going to do? It's the fight game, isn't it? But I think at this point, and here's the win from Bryce Mitchell. ESPN MMA says Bryce Mitchell wins in his bantamweight debut against Nurmagomedov. When I heard Bryce Mitchell was coming down a weight class, I didn't think he was going to be able to deal with Saeed, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I looked at how he had lost recently. He has 3 losses in his last 5, and he's win, lose, and he was primed for a win. And also, the guys he lost to were top level. And we know Saeed is not well rounded enough. He did great on the ground. His great groundwork was decent, but unfortunately, not good enough to beat Mitchell. And that's what I sort of expected was Said Nurmagomedov is a striker, a decent striker, a good striker. but I just didn't think he had enough Bryce Mitchell on the ground, and it proved it. And as ESPN says there, congrats to Bryce Mitchell for his first win at bantamweight. Shout out Jordan. You know, I should actually mention this account. If you are looking for the funniest, most entertaining, most informative Twitter account where it comes to MMA, you gotta follow Mundane MMA on Twitter. Fantastic content that guy puts out every fucking fight night. He says, "How did Aslan think he won that fight?" Yeah, Ibo Aslan did not win that fight, but he was raising his hand like he thought he won. You know, with that said, let's get back to the fights. We'll put this back up once the fights are going. Bye, Twitter. And right now we've got the fight between Asu Amabayev and Jose Ocha. Amabayev has Ocha up against the cage in a clinch in full control as it is. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter as well at headkickpod if you want to find all the MMA news. We retweet what's relevant, we comment on what's relevant. And right now, Asu Amabayev has just hopped on the back of Jose Ocha, but he's too high. Doesn't look like he's going to get anything, but he's looking like he wants to backpack him. No dancing in this fight. Oh, Ocha threw him off very, very nicely. Amabayev is all Ocha. Got him in face crank, but Ocha is just right now. So far, 2 minutes into the first round, Asu Amabayev, let's go. He's definitely winning this fight so far. Well, let's get back to Twitter real quick. There we have two words for Tabitha Rishi. Yes, from 2 days ago. Okay, and here the KO by Muslim Salekov on on Kaplial. Nasty right hook. Comment there says, what a perfect on Twitter. Then this is in reference to the first fight between Buchecha and Bade. J. Jimbo says, these are the fights we live to see in the heavyweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Cannot wait. And a good fight it was. A good fight it was. Buchecha lost. Buchecha is the more ripped dude. He looked much bigger at the weigh-ins. But Bade, he came in and showed his experience. He took Buchecha all 3 rounds and showed why he is a former pro CSGO player. Oh, damn. I don't even know what CSGO is. What the freak is CSGO? But anyway, look, Bade won that fight very convincingly, I must say. No idea which fight that's referring to. Tabitha Ritchie fight day. There's Tabitha Ritchie. Let's see who else. Let's go to latest. What's happening in the comments latest? Yes, and this is the fight we currently got going. It's the fight between Asu Amabayev and Jose Ocha. So to get back to this fight, actually, we've got Jose Ocha all over the back of Asu Amabayev. Even round, but I think by inches, I'd give a 10-9 to to Asu Amabayev. I think he's just managed to win that round. Just managed to win that round. Let's see what else is interesting here. So in case you missed it, There is Nikita Krylov just after getting sparked by Bogdan Guskov. And I think it was like in the first 2 minutes or less that he managed to get that KO on Bogdan Guskov. Sorry, on Nikita Krylov. Yeah, and there he is finishing him on the ground. Shout out to MMA News for a link to see that KO. You can go onto Twitter. You can't find it. You know what? I'm going to retweet it. Follow us on Twitter if you want to find that link to see that KO. Now we're in round two of Amabayev versus Ocha. Tripvik, actually, it's my kids, bro. No side things here, fam. Speaking to my kids, they just need a little something, something. So I'll be back on the stream in just half a second, promise. Okay, we are back. That's right. So Tripvik, just once again, that was my kids, but let's go. Second round, 2 minutes in, fight between Asu Amabayev and Jose Ocha. Two takedown attempts have landed out of five in the second round by Almabayev, who is ranked number nine. Ocha is unranked, by the way. Good fight so far. Good fight so far. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. If you're watching on playback, please do remember at headkickpod on all platforms. Do like, definitely comment, and definitely subscribe if you are following, if you are watching on YouTube. So I'm not sure if everyone watching knows what a churro is, but I made churros this morning and they're freaking amazing. I think let's get the Twitter stream back on. So, uh-oh. Ocha has Almabayev in an attempted armbar, but Almabayev looks like he's got enough control to not be armbarred. So yeah, on Twitter, Marks Plays 3 says, no doubt in Bryce Mitchell, fight time over. We faded thousands of people and cashed with ease. So he was betting on Bryce Mitchell, and he got his money out. He got 14 fight minutes, more than 14, and he got that. So well done to you. What else we got here? That's the fight that just started. This is talking about the Ritter versus Whittaker. Nothing interesting on Twitter so far. Ooh, so this is in reference to the fight between Muhammad Yahya and Stephen Guyen, where there were 6 knockdowns in the first round. So fans are now calling for the ref to be fired because 6 knockdowns, which is what gave that nasty, nasty eye injury to Muhammad Yahya, where the doctor had to come in. The doctor's the one who had to stop that fight. So fans are not happy with the fact that the ref let it go all that way. Should the ref have stopped it? Or is that not also why the doctor's there? If the fighter's fighting, why stop the fight? You know, that's an argument some could make. That's an argument the ref could make. So, interesting one there. Very interesting. But Muhammad Yahya was absolutely bludgeoned by Stephen Guyen in his fight earlier this evening. Let's see what else we got that's interesting here on Twitter in the Twitterverse. Ooh, let's vote. UFC Fight Night Robert Whittaker versus the Ritter. Who do you got? Over 2 rounds, under 2 rounds. It's too late to vote for this because it's already over 2 rounds. We're in the third round. So that's an easy one to pick. 41-year-old, my age mate, shout out Muslim, the only man to have 2 wheel kicks in the UFC, Salikov, for his win at UFC Abu Dhabi with his nasty KO of Carlos Leal, which left Islam Makhachev, who is there in the crowd, left him stunned because he saw that absolutely hectic KO. Now we're in the third round of the fight between Asum Abayev and Jose Ocha. So far, I give Amabayev round 1. Round 2 is close. Let's see how round 3 goes. But that's how I currently see the fights. Let me put this up for anyone who doesn't know who's won earlier, and how my picks are doing so far tonight. But so far, I think I've gotten 4 fights wrong out of 8. So I'm 50%. Not very good. Not very good at all. Come on, Asu, give me another one. I'm not doing very well right now. Not doing very, very well at all in terms of my picks. But let's see how it goes. I don't know. We'll see. Still a bit of the fight to go. Ooh, don't be silly. Jump the gillies. Jose Ocha pulling for a guillotine, but he doesn't have it. And Asum Abayev is out with the guillotine. Ooh, what's the chat saying? Ooh, I left my chat. Sorry, chat. Shout out Trip Vic. Let's see what else you got. Oh, they're amazing kids, by the way. Absolutely amazing kids. Thank you so much, Trip. Very sweet. Oh, and I got the right mix of the cinnamon and the sugar right on top. Absolutely delicious. Some refs are blind. Yeah, and in that fight, it looks like that ref was absolutely blind, couldn't see anything. And this fight doesn't look to be on Mabaya's way in this third round. And the second round was very close. So I think Ocha could win this one. 28-20, 29-28. Because Amabayev, no, he was good for the first round and a half. And then he just kind of dropped off or lost steam. Twitter name is at headkickpod. You can follow us there. Triptych, thank you so much. Much appreciated. I think you already do follow us on Twitter, but to anyone else who is watching, whether you're live or on playback, we are at headkickpod on Twitter. You can follow us to get all of these fight news tweets that we retweet and post daily. Yeah, this is going to be a very tough one for the judges to call, to be honest. Very, very tough one for the judges to call. Amabayev has been on top. He's had the ground control, but I don't know. When you go to the judges, You just don't know what's gonna happen. Oh shit, Shane. Oh, I'm still there. Okay, from Amabai. Takedown. We can give him the third round, and then I think he's won 2 rounds to one, possibly three. Okay, he didn't get the third takedown, not yet at least. The stats are showing Omabayev has 22 of 33 strikes, and Ocha has 21 of 36. So very, very close fight. Very, very close fight. But therefore, ground control time. Ooh, it's a big, big right straight from Almabayev. Rocked Ocha, sent him flying back. You know, that one. Let's see what the chat's got to say. I'm sure I heard that a long time ago. Just follow. Thank you, TripVic. Much appreciated for the follow on Twitter. You're right. I think you subscribe on YouTube, and that's why I thought you were on our Twitter. But thank you so much. Much appreciated, TripVic. We will follow you back for sure. Let me do that right now. Actually, let me do that whilst live. Let's show you the follow back. And to anyone who is watching, you can follow TripVic as well. There we go. And that's the end of the third round between Asu Omabayev and Jose Ocha. There he is, TripVic. Followed right back. Oh, okay. Trip, you don't have any comments or anything on Twitter, but okay, cool. Okay, let's get back to here. Let's give you about 5 seconds between Thug Nasty Mitchell and Said Nurmagomedov, which resulted in a unanimous decision win for Bryce Mitchell. There's some more shots of Bogdan Kuzkov taking out Nikita Krylov. 100%. Let's see how Sharamagomedov and Petr Yan handle their business. Both Russians, both exceptional despite Yan's recent losses. I mean, we know exactly who Petr Yan is. He was the former bantamweight champion, is the former bantamweight champion. But since his loss to Aljo 3 years ago, he hasn't been that active. And he's also been unlucky because after Aljo, he lost to Sean O'Malley, who then became the bantamweight champion. He then also lost to the other bantamweight champion, Merab Dvalishvili. So he's only pretty much losing to champions, and that's acceptable, in my books at least. That's acceptable. After that, he did have 2 wins. First one against Song Yadong a year ago, and then against another champion, Davison Figueiredo. So in his last 5, he's fought 4 champions. Petr Yan has fought 4 champions in his last 5. So, I mean, what do you expect? And here we go. That's the call. Asu Omabayev, winner by unanimous decision. I fully agree. He controlled the entire fight. So congrats. Well done, Asu Omabayev. Thanks a lot. If you're wondering what Trip Vic is thanking me for, I need to invert that. He's thanking me because we just followed him on Twitter. He is on Twitter. You can follow Trip Vic. Shout out Trip Vic. Ah, I see. So the reason his account has nothing is because he had to make a new account because his phone got damaged. New Gmail and all. Shout out McDane. Oh, dog of the week. That's right, McDane. We got that dog of the week, bro. You and me. Look, sucks that you got it because you were ahead of me, but whatever. I'm happy that we're still, way ahead of crossing all those bums at the bottom. Don't talk to me if you're beneath me. Do not talk to me. The only people I see are you and Ola. That's all I got to say. And of course, Basement Jack sees us all. There's nobody he doesn't see. Looking up the table, all the way up. Well done, Asumabayev. Okay, let's put up the next fight. Magomedov versus Barrialt is the next fight. Spelled that wrong. The Three Kings. 100% McDane. We are the Three Kings at the top. Literally, the guys at the bottom can't touch us. We're the only ones on 200. At this point, if you're not on 200 on that scoreboard, don't talk to me. Don't call my name. Don't. I don't see you. I don't see you. I don't see you. We don't see you. We are the three. We are at the top. We are 200 and above. They are not. Facts. Leave the bums at the bottom of the table. Look, I'll say yes, although some of them might take exception to being called bums, but let's go. We didn't run the bot this week. McDane, because of Leroy's travels, he got busy, so we took a break on the bot this week. No bot picks for this week, but next week we will get back to running the bot, so we will have bot picks next week. I'm really looking forward to that because it's nice to see how the bot goes. And I mean, the bot was 3 in a row in terms of correct picks for dog of the week. So once we get to 10, then we know we've got something real. If it manages to get 10 straight picks, which, well, let's see. I mean, it's dog bot 95 for a reason because you have at least a 95% confidence that this is right each week for your dog of the week, which is where I guess I agreed with you guys that it might be unfair if I'm picking dog of the week given by the bot, and the bot is very accurate in this dog of the week. But we're not sure if it is yet. We'll see once we get to about 10 fight nights of testing to see how accurate it is. But until then, it's all me, bro. It's all me. Let's pull up this Twitter stream again. As we see the pirate Shara Magomedov getting ready for his fight against Mark Andre Barriol. Here's a tweet from Ace Betting with Ace One, who says he has a 2-leg parlay for half a unit, which is minus 105 for Peter Yan, and the fight to win by ML, not sure what that is, and Barriol versus Magomedov to go the distance. Okay. But I think Magomedov finishes this fight. Honestly, I don't see it going the distance. And then sprinkle for the rest of the card. Okay. Okay. But the 2-leg parlay looks decent. I see Peter Yan, definitely. And then the distance for Magomedov Barrialt is possible. I just don't see it happening, but it is possible. What else we got here? Live stream, live stream, live stream, live stream, live stream. What else is interesting out in the Twitterverse? I guess whilst I'm here, let's pay a quick tribute to Hulk Hogan, who did pass away this week, 24th of July. Legend Hulk Hogan. He did have a bit of a taint on his name right at the end of his career, but still a legend, still a legend, still a legend. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. And here's I'm not sure which language this is, article showing the eye of Muhammad Yahya. All fucked up. That was a bad injury. And we will be back in just a second to watch the fight between Magomedov and Barrios. And we are back with the fight between Shara Magomedov and Mark Andre Barrios. I've got Shara Magomedov in this fight. I think the Pirate gets it done easy. Or did I take him by decision for this fight? No, I'm not even sure. Let's check real quick. I've got Shara by submission round one. And here we go. Here goes the fight. Let's get it going. Barrios comes out quick. Let's see if that helps him at all in this fight. Who else we got in the chats here? Trip Vic, thank you for joining me. Once again, Trip Vic in the chat says, even though Hulk was racist, but he's still a legend, 100%. He's still the one and only Hulk Hogan. Hulkamaniac's running wild on you. What you gonna do when the Hulk runs wild on you? Yeah, let's get legend, absolute legend. Trip Vic says, wasn't expecting Hulk Hogan to pass this early, especially because he was moving about somewhat and doing stuff. True, true. But as they say, the greats always go early, although he was 71, so he did have a good innings. But let's quickly check what the Twitterverse is saying. This time I'm going to go straight into the UFC posts to have a look at what comments are being dropped by those who are watching this fight. Please, God, Mark, don't get KO'd. Please, says Black Belt Bets. Bro, he's not going to get KO'd. He's going to get submitted. It's either RNC. I don't think it's going to be a complicated submission. Probably like an RNC. I don't see a heel hook or Kimura. Maybe a Kimura. So I think maybe an RNC or Kimura, but something where he's in full control and, you know, after, I mean, Barrels is just thrown in a double leg for the takedown. I think Magomedov, because right now he's got the underhook on the right side. I think he sweeps, takes him down, submission. Let's see. Ooh, the one-eyed king, says Jay Henry. Second round KO, says Chuck. I agree with you, Chuck, but not KO. Why am I the only one who thinks that Magomedov has some submission talent here? Everyone's looking at the KO from him, but I mean, after that double back fist win in his last fight, I mean, I'd also think the same thing. Now, interestingly enough, here Pixel is saying at Grok who is going to win. Grok has not responded, but at Pixel, Pixel should. Oh wait, I think Grok has responded. Let's have a look. Ooh, Grok gave an answer. Grok said, based on the betting odds and expert picks from MMA Fighting and Yahoo Sports, Shara Bullet is a strong favorite to win via KO, TKO, leveraging his striking edge over Barrios' experience. Let's see if he delivers. Now, this is pretty interesting because we have a dog bot, which McDane from Rambling Dad podcast, do subscribe to that channel if you can, Rambling Dad, or do follow him on Twitter at McDane MMA. He asked, how is Dogbot doing? So we've created a bot that looks at how your LLMs predict fights. So far, we have 3 LLMs that we run. Of the 3 LLMs, we're looking at Gemini, Grok, and ChatGTP. Names of those bots is TapGPT, GrokDog, GrokDog Delta, I think, GrokDog Delta, and Gemma May. They don't have the same picks. As much as the odds are all the same, they look at the same data, they all pick differently. And we're looking at which bot, or which LLM you can get better accuracy from, and we're tracking that over time. So your answer here from Grok, Pixel, that says that based on the odds, Shara is going to win. This kind of speaks to how the LLMs look at it. They look mostly at the odds without taking into account all the other factors around the fight, which is what we as analysts do. And obviously, we've also built our own bot based off the data, Dogbot 95, which gives you 95 accuracy on picking a dog of the week, which you can add to any parlay. So interesting that Pixel here has a guy who will win the fight. Alexa says, let's go Pirate. I'm not even going to hesitate on that vote. I'm going with Magomedov, and 70% of the people agree that Magomedov is going to win this fight as per this poll put in by Zulagin on Twitter. So do follow us on Twitter at headkickpod. If you are on Twitter, you can follow us there. Let's change this one up. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Shar Magomedov. So far, so good in the fight. Fairly even first round, though. My bad. I thought Shar was going to pull something spectacular in the first round, but very even first round. Very, very even first round. Oh, now the second round's going to go. Back to the Twitterverse. 50 has his money on the redhead. 50th. Anything else interesting? Let's see what the latest is to see how they viewed that first round between Shara Bullet and Marc Andre. No, nothing new here. UFC Abu Dhabi. That's where they are tonight. UFC Abu Dhabi. They are in Abu Dhabi. Bryce Mitchell, always scary. Bryce Mitchell thought that a reporter was speaking Arabic, whereas he was speaking Russian. It was pretty hilarious. So there we have the face of Muhammad Yahya. This resulted in a doctor stoppage in this fight. It's absolutely nasty. Here they're commenting on Asul Mabayev's underdog win by decision. And here, yes, unfortunately, the 13-time BJJ champ just got forechecked. First fight in the UFC, coming out of one championship, having only recently lost to Rugrug or Rugrug Omar Khan in one championship. He got forechecked in his first fight in the UFC. Unfortunately, that's definitely, I agree 100% with that. Bloody elbow. Called it. Grok is giving some inputs here into the fight on between Sharp Bullet and Marc Andre. Let's retweet this for this dude. Who is this? I don't even know. RDR versus Whittaker. Bro, I got you. What else? What else is interesting? Nothing. So no one said anything yet on the fight between Sharp Bullet and Marc Andre Barriault. But I think that first round, very close. Don't know which way it went. Judges. They say don't let it go to the judges, but definitely went to the judges. Ah, there we go. Glove Grid says Magomedov with slick kicks. Barriault scores a solid takedown. Tight round in Abu Dhabi. Very tight round. Two minutes into the second round. There's a big cut on top of Barriault's head. Not sure that how that happened. Must have, ooh, another vicious elbow to the side of the head by Magomedov. I think Magomedov's been hitting Barriault with some nasty elbows. Let's see what it was. Yep, an elbow right to the top of the head, right here, right here. Massive cut on the top of the head of Marc Andre Barriault from a very, very perfectly placed elbow from Shara Magomedov. But Barriault's still coming forward. Magomedov still dancing, waiting for the engagement. Gets caught by a little right hand from Barriault as he also hits an elbow. Now they're in the clinch against the cage. Woohoo! Woohoo! It's two big nasty elbows there from Barriault. Couldn't help it. Shout out to everyone who was watching live or on playback. Thank you for watching. Much appreciated. Thank you for joining me. Please do comment how you find the fight night tonight, how you find this fight between Shara Bullet and Marc Andre. Ooh, oh my hat. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Barriault just caught Shara Bullet with one very nasty right hand. Looks like he might have broken his nose. Shara Bullet's face looks all mashed up from that shot. He is really struggling. He's bleeding from his nose. Oh, he has not been messed up like this before. No one's been, not even MVP touched him like this. Now Barrier has him against the cage, just doing work on the ins. Oof! Body shot, elbow, uppercut. Body shot, elbow, uppercut, hook. Ooh, Barrier is doing some very nasty work here in the clinch. Very nasty work here in the clinch. Second round, Mark Andre, and he goes in for a double leg. Ooh, that was nasty. I can't wait to see the replay on that shot. Oh my goodness. Shara Bullet is busted up bad. I honestly have not seen him look like this before. He's still throwing those nasty elbows to the side of the head of Marc-Andre Barriol, but he's now pushed up against the cage, and you can see he's really struggling, probably to breathe at this point. There must be a lot of blood going through his nasal passage right now. He's covered in blood, and he's managed to switch it around now. He's holding Barriol against the cage, throwing elbows and knees, throwing knees up the middle, but not connecting very well. Barriol is, oh, big knee, big right hook. Oh, oh man, oh, teep, side teep. Oh my God, 6 seconds left in the second round. Oh, head kick from Shara Bullet. Oh my God, what a round! That was a hell of a round. Well, shout out to Mark Andre Barrios for that. Wow. Oh, he absolutely caught Shara, and I think he broke Shara's nose. He's broken Shara's nose with an elbow. Shara's nose is like this now. It's twisted. I think his corners put it back into place, but damn. Wow. Shara Bullet's nose is it's broken. It is broken. It's you can see it's skewed. Like here, it goes that way. Nasty business. Nasty business. Shout out Shara Bullet. And if we quickly turn back to the stream, Combat Sport Inside says round two ends in an absolute bloodbath, 100%. Barriol had Shara Bullet stumbling, leaking, and clinging on. Elbows, kicks, pure savagery. Canada just turned up the heat in Abu Dhabi. That from Combat Sports Insider at Combat Sport X on Twitter. You can find them there on Twitter. And here's a picture of Marc Andre Barriol just after he broke Shara Bullet's nose. You can see it. It was very clear. I don't know how his team put it back into place because it's not as skew as it was 3 minutes ago. But dang it, this is a hell of a fight. His beard is definitely a little bit redder from all the blood that just went to it in Shara Bullet. And he's bleeding again. Oh, this clinch game from Barriot is nasty. Big elbows to the side of the head from Shara Bullet. Back to Twitter. Trends Decode says Yaya is trending after Muhammad. Yaya is trending after Muhammad Yaya. The first Emirati competitor suffered a horrific eye injury that horrified UFC Abu Dhabi fans. Swelling lost his eye in the middle of the battle, and Stephen Guyan, his opponent, won by TKO after recording a record 7 knockdowns. And there was a tweet earlier saying that with 7 knockdowns, should the ref not have stopped it earlier? I don't know. I don't know. It is one of those things. Is there anything else on this Mark Andre Barriot? Nothing else. Look, this Shara Bullet fight is absolutely crazy. Skeletor says, as I said, UFC Abu Dhabi always delivers. What a bloody fight between Shara and Barriot. They're slicing each other up, 100%. It's Scary work over here. Let's see if we can tweet something. Ooh. So honestly, at this point, I think Barry Holt might be winning this fight. I think Barry Holt might win this fight by two rounds to one. If Bullet doesn't finish this fight, I think he loses this fight. And it's looking like he might lose this fight. Because Barry Holt is putting it on him every chance he gets, clinching, holding him against the cage, expressing dominance. Damage is on Barry Holt's side because the only damage he's taken is a little bit of blood from an elbow to the top of his head. Whereas with Shara Bullet, he's all messed up, broken nose, bleeding from the nose, right into his mouth. You can see he's struggling. He hasn't had he's really struggling, but I think it's definitely going to go the way of Mark Andre Barriol, two rounds to one, if Shara Bullet does not do something different. But with that said, hey, I'm not too confused by this because everyone in the underdogs competition in the fight week show, two big elbows from Shara Bullet there. He's still looking like he's ready to fight, as much as he might be breathing a little bit heavy from the broken nose. He seems like he's still got a little bit in the gas tank, and he knows he's only got one more. Oh, big knee! Oh, kick him in the head! Beautiful left high kick from Shara Bullet, and you can see Barriel felt those ones. He's now dancing against the cage, trying to catch his breath, trying not to get caught by Shara. But good game plan from Barriel. He knew he cannot stand with Shara Bullet, so he came forward, got him in the clinch, held him against the fence, body work, worked him, and then did all the damage that he did. Oh, there we go. Shara just took Barriel down, and he's got 16 seconds to try and finish this fight because I think he's lost this fight if he doesn't finish it. But we just saw in the fight between world champion, 6 seconds left. What a fight. What a fight between Mark Andre Barriol and Shara Magomedov. Wow. Look, if Magomedov loses this fight, he's two on the trot in terms of losses. If Barriol wins this fight against Shara Bullet, what does that do? What next for him? Oh, this is a great fight. This was a great fight. This is a really good fight. So far, fight of the night, I think. Definitely fight of the night so far. Oof. This is hard. This is so far, UFC Abu Dhabi, as we always know, as we all know, always delivers, and it is delivering again tonight. Main card, third fight. We're about to come into the co-main between Peter Yan and Marcus McGee. Let's turn back to the Twitterverse as we wait for the results of this fight. So back to Twitter. Here we have a post from lowkickmma.com saying Aso Mabayev wrestles his way to dominant decision over Jose Ocha. UFC Abu Dhabi highlights. Yep, very dominant win. 2 minutes ago, Grok says in the ongoing Magomedov versus Barriol fight at UFC Abu Dhabi, round one is close. Magomedov landed 23 strikes with 17 seconds control, while Barriol has 12 strikes with 1 minute 27 control and a takedown. Barriol just hurt him with a clean right, but Magomedov leads in volume. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, we did, and now we're gonna go and find out. Let's see. Mark Andre. What? Okay, look. I was rooting for Shara Bullet, but I'm kind of shocked that he unanimous decision. The judges, but it was 29-28. So Barriot won one round, Shara Bullet won 2 rounds. So that's okay. That I accept. Close one. Let's see what Bisping has to say. I'm gonna mute myself real quick. I want to hear what Michael Bisping has to say to Shara and what Shara's answers are, because that was a freaking hard fight. I don't know how he fixed his broken nose though. So yeah, Shara Bullet by unanimous decision. Sorry, by 29-28, decision win against Marc Andre Barriol. That was a hard fought victory. That was an absolutely insanely hard fought victory. And he says, "Listen, I'm gonna go rest. I'll let my fans sort of decide what I do next." But that was a hard fight. Marc Andre Barrios is much stronger than I thought he is, and yeah, and he sounds gassed. He sounds absolutely gassed. Shout out to my doppelganger. That was an absolutely beautiful fight. I agree. It was fight of the night, and we got RoboCop and Gilbert Burns in the building. Let's see. Shout out to everyone who's watching us live, who is watching us on playback. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please do comment, comment, comment. We do see the comments. We do reply. So thank you everyone for watching, for following, subscribing, and enjoying the content. If there's anything you want to see us doing in particular, let us know. By the way, if you are listening, we do have an exclusive coming up. Very special interview with the one and only Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Eagle, an exclusive from Khotso Ramopo, who interviewed the Eagle at the recent PFL World Series, the Champion Series, PFL Africa. The Eagle was in South Africa, and we have an exclusive interview with him coming very soon. So do stay tuned and make sure you catch that live. That interview is going to be, it's a fantastic interview. So do stay tuned, do subscribe. Make sure you catch that interview that we will be putting out next week from the Eagle, Khabib Nurmagomedov. And let me update this actually. Let me update the win loss because we have a winner in Shara Magomedov. So far on the main card, I am 2 for 3. Not bad. On the prelims, I was. Yeesh. Wait, how did I do it? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So on the prelims, I was 4 from 7. And now on the main card so far, I am 2 from 3. Not the worst night, not the worst night. So happy with my pick so far. Ooh, and they're showing the middleweight championship matchup between Dricus, still Knox Duplessis, and Khamzat Chimaev, the Wolf. Ooh! So I'm a huge fan of Khamzat. I'm a very, very big fan of Khamzat. I love Khamzat. I love how he came to the UFC. I love his energy. I love the hype. I love how he wrestles, how he finishes fights. We saw how he finished the Leech, how he finished Robert Whittaker. I love Khamzat Chimaev. Unfortunately for him, he's going up against, in my opinion, right now, one of the best fighters in the world at any weight class. Pound for pound, he should probably be number 2, 1. You know, between him, Islam, and Ilya, for me, they're the 3 best fighters in the world. Absolutely love Dricus Duplessis. So, unfortunately, I don't think Khamzat's going to get this one. He's not big enough. Dricus is a big man. Dricus can go up to light heavyweight just like this. Khamzat, not so much. He would likely go down to welterweight rather than going up. I mean, he just came from welterweight rather than going up to light heavy at any given point. So I just don't see how his wrestling will beat what Dricus does. And that's the beauty of what Dricus is as a champion is you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know how he's going to do it. You don't know when he's going to do it. And for me, that uncertainty in how Dricus fights is what his plot armor is. Whereas with Khamzat, we know exactly what he does. He's going to come, he's going to try and ragdoll you, take you down, choke you out, submit you. In the striking department, we know that's not his best. We've seen him against Gilbert Burns, almost got knocked out, almost got finished, didn't have enough there. We saw him against Kamaru Usman, similar sort of thing. If it had gone 5 rounds, Kamaru probably would have won that fight. And I think those small little gaps or holes is exactly what Dricus is going to expose. Why? Because the way Dricus enters a fight is not that I am Dricus, I am DDP, I am the best, I'm going to do what I do and I'm going to win this fight. Not once has he said that. Dricus comes into every fight saying, I have trained for you, my opponent. Whether it's Sean Strickland with those ridiculous teeps the whole fight, whether it's Izzy, the style bender, one of the greatest ever middleweights, whether it's Strickland again, first fight, whether it's Brunson, whether it's the Reaper, no matter who it is, Dricus comes in to fight the fight against his opponent. And for me, that's what makes him special. He's not just there to come and say, I'm the best, so fight me because I'm good at what I do. It's, I'm here to beat you on this night. I'm here to kill you if I have to. And if you have to kill me, you do the same. But all his opponents seem to want to fight their fight, not their opponent. And that's the difference for me between Dricus and the rest. And that's the difference for me between Dricus and Khamzat. Khamzat's going to come in and do what we know Khamzat's going to do. But that means Dricus knows what he's going to do. And that means how can he win? Because unfortunately, you have to have a fully rounded MMA game, a fully rounded skill set, and be not good everywhere, but be able to handle yourself everywhere very well to be able to beat Trickers, who has prepared for you. So I just don't see how Khamzat does it as much as I'm a big fan of Khamzat Chimaev. Shout out Trip Vic in the chats. He says he can't believe they screwed his Canadian broski. Bruh, listen, I had Barry Alt, possibly at 29, 28. Honestly. I think he could have edged it, but it's very possible that the volume from Shara won him the 2 rounds that he won. And as much as Barry Alt had the control in the clinch and the damage, it wasn't enough and it was borderline. But I agree. That is one of those borderline robberies that we're in Abu Dhabi, bro. You're Canadian. You can't leave it to the judges. You can't leave it to the judges. You're in Canada. You're not in Canada. You're in Abu Dhabi. Shara Bullet, Muslim, Magomedov. You can't leave it to the judges in Abu Dhabi. So, robbery, maybe. But at the end of the day, Shara did what he had to do. He got the victory. It is what it is. Oh, yes, Trip Vic, you have me in the background listening while you're working out. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for putting me on your stream. I really appreciate it. Let me change this fight because the next fight we have coming up is between Piotr, P-E-T-R, Piotr Jan, and Marcus McGee. Very interesting fight, this one. Marcus McGee's not fought at this level before. As much as he's the older fighter by 3 years, he has a lot less experience. Only one loss, he's 10-1, but we got Piotr Jan with an 18-5 record, of which, like I said earlier, 3 of those losses has come in the last 3 years, and there were 3 in a row to 3 bantamweight champions. So his last 3 losses are to guys who were the champions at that point or in their next fight. So, I mean, he's literally a championship level fighter. He fights at a championship level, and that's that because his next fight was against Song Yadong, which he won by unanimous decision a year and a half ago. Well done there. And then after that, he fought another champion, not from the bantamweight division, from the lower division, the flyweight division, but he still beat Davison Figueiredo by decision. No matter which way you cut it, all he's done is either beat champions or lose to champions in his last 5 fights, with the exception of one in Song Yadong. So, I think his ranking at number 3 will be maintained. I think Marcus McGee is a great fighter, powerful fighter, very muscular, on a heck of a streak. But I think just the skill and experience of Piotr Jan is what's gonna do for him in this fight. I just don't see how McGee does it. Let's see, Trip Vic in the chats. He's glad I got the points on the table. Yes, I got my point, but so did everyone else. I think Magomedov was a clean sweep. Let me actually check. I don't think anyone picked McGee. Ooh, S Dogs just got back from golfing, so he hasn't watched any of the fights so far. S Dogs MMA, do subscribe to him on YouTube. Sterling does great work, lots of interviews with fighters from UFC, LFA, and Power Slap. We are big fans, him and I, of Power Slap. So you can follow S Dogs MMA on Twitter and on YouTube. And I'm trying to get to our pick sheet, and my WhatsApp is jammed. Oh, thank you so much, WhatsApp. Speaking of which, I wonder when we're gonna get the. Oopsie. I wonder when we're gonna get the stuff that's supposed to be, or the data, or the content, or the information that we're supposed to be getting from this deal between Meta and the UFC, because we've got all these Meta cameras around now in the UFC, around the cage, collecting all this data. I wonder how long they're going to do that before they start to give us the results, whether it's giving us more data as fans on the screen in terms of information, whether it's allowing the odds to be better, whether it's allowing fighters to better or to have more data about how they fight to improve their fights. Like we haven't seen what's coming out of that deal between Meta and the UFC, but I'm definitely looking forward to finding out exactly what that is in the end. Because if you know anything about me, I'm a big data guy. I love these fights because each fight is an amazing data point to find out how people fight, who's winning the fight, and why. So I'm looking forward to when they start to give us more information about how these fights are going, more accurate, possibly more accurately assessing strikes per minute or using machine learning to then give us information on okay, we're in round X based on the output so far and the takedowns. We see that in round two, the distal more like I don't know something, but we haven't seen anything from that deal so far. But maybe it's coming. Maybe they're waiting until they switch from ESPN when that deal ends at the end of this year, and then they implement it with their new broadcast partner. I don't know. I wonder. But that's something that's very interesting that the UFC does have coming is more data-based fight information based on their deal with Meta. And we're about to step into the co-main event, but I will be back in just a second because now my laptop has decided technology is not its friend. Welcome to everyone who is live with us here watching UFC Abu Dhabi, the fight between number 3 ranked Petr Yan and number 12 ranked Marcus McGee. 1.5 minutes into the first round. Not much has happened. They're still feeding each other out. You know what? Let's turn to Twitter. Let's see what the Twitterverse is saying about this fight. Ooh, but then I'm going to miss this fight. Okay, we can still do it. We can multitask, can't we? Jan coming in with a record of 18-5. McGee coming in with a record of 10-1. The favorite, overwhelming favorite, is Petr Yan. Oh, knockdown from Yan. No, it looked like more like a trip. Looked like McGee tripped, not really a knockdown there. 91% of the Tapology community has Piotr Yan to win this fight. So far, so good for him. He keeps on catching McGee as soon as McGee comes in. And that's the thing with Piotr Yan. And I think it's what I said on the prediction show. His footwork and his head movement, it's top level, top notch. I think McGee needs to do what Barry Alt did, but win this fight, even though he's fighting in what I would call enemy territory, coming all the way to Abu Dhabi. But I think he needs to engage in the clinch and not play to Piotr Jan's strengths. We know Piotr Jan is definitely, I would say, the best boxer at bantamweight. His footwork is stellar. His head movement is precise. So Court McGee, not Court, Marcus McGee, I think needs to more so play a clinch game, work in the clinch, body shots, slow down Piotr Jan, and then try and stand with him. But right now, you can see Piotr Jan has got the advantage in the boxing. And maybe McGee needs to throw in more kicks because he's not kicking much right now. It's just boxing. With that said, as I was saying, let's turn to the Twitterverse. Let's see what Twitter is saying about all of this. Shout out to Vic saying, big up, Jan. He's rooting for Piotr Jan in this fight. Okay, now to Twitter. MMA Fighting says UFC Abu Dhabi results. Sharma Gomedov bloodies, batters Marc-Andre Barriault in return to win column. Because obviously we know that he was coming off a loss against MVP. MVP giving him his first loss and I guess teaching him a lot of lessons about how to make sure he wins a fight when you go the distance rather than just trying to finish the fight. But congratulations to Shara Bullet. Few very beautiful head kicks, and that's one reason I like Shara Bullet. He's a head kick machine, bro. Okay, more on that. Suvi Jeans on Twitter says he missed the whole UFC Abu Dhabi card because he was napping. Sorry, bro. It was a good fight. I'm going to comment on that one. Sorry, bro. It was a good fight night. That's what I've said to Suvi Jeans on Twitter. And heck, why not throw in a young follow? I mean, why not? To everyone who's watching, please do follow us on Twitter. Wait, let's check. Does this bro tweet anything? Let's see. Only Trip Vic got followed because he is a big fan, and I really appreciate you, Trip. You get a follow. So do shout us out on Twitter. We will follow you back if you do follow us at headkickpod on all platforms, but at headkickpod on Twitter. And here is a picture, if you missed it, of Shara Bullet's broken nose. He's looking like an angry, savage pirate, just as the first round between Piotr Jan and Marcus McGee ends. MMA News at MMA News _com says, Shara Bullet's greatest performance to date. Fans and fighters react as Shara Bullet Madov overcomes broken nose to defeat Marc-Andre Barriault in bloody battle at UFC Abu Dhabi. That's a nice headline. And that's exactly what happened. Let's see. Someone asked Rock a question. Let's see what they asked. And it's related to Lauren Murphy, enough. Not true. UFC Abu Dhabi event has Piotr Jan versus Marcus McGee as co-main event. Original plan was for Evloev versus Pico, but Evloev withdrew due to injury. 319 is in August in Chicago with different bouts. Someone asked a question regarding Aaron Pico. Moving right along. Anything else? Mikey Bat says, never say Shara Bullet is not sniffing a UFC title shot if he can only fight in Abu Dhabi. That's fair enough. Because Trip Vic in the chat said that there was a robbery. He saw that as a robbery. in favor of Shara Bullet because we are in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi would be home ground advantage for Shara Bullet and very, very, very not home ground advantage for a Mark Andre Barrial. So 100% I agree. If you can only win with home ground advantage and it's by decision, what are we really going to say? You know, like I hear what Mikey Batts is saying there. Who else we got here? Okay, Grok throwing in a random. Ooh, big shot from Marcus McGee. You know what? Let's put Twitter to the side for a second. Let's get back to this fight between Piotr Jan and Marcus McGee. No Mercy versus the Maniac. First round I gave to Piotr Jan by an inch, but his footwork kept him out of range. Oh, big right hand from Piotr Jan. Oh, he rocked McGee there. Oh, but then again, you know, Patty says when you have hair like this, you catch a slight jab and it looks like you just got knocked. So that's why he ties his hair. But maybe McGee didn't get hurt there. Maybe it was light work and his hair just went flying back. I don't know. But looks like he's bleeding now. Okay, clinch game from McGee, but oh, big uppercut from Piotr Jan. Oh, big left hook from Piotr Jan. Listen, Marcus McGee needs to stop playing Piotr Jan on the feet here. Piotr Jan is the best boxer in the bantamweight division. That's why Marab had to go and wrestle him and hold him the entire fight. Apart from the fact that that's what the machine does, you can't just stand and bang at bantamweight with Piotr Jan. You can't. He's the best boxer at bantamweight. Like that's facts. How O'Malley. Ooh, big right hand from Piotr Jan. So second round is 2 minutes in, and it's all Piotr Jan right now. Big right hook, swing and a miss from McGee, and almost fell down from a big right hook. And he just keeps getting caught, whether it's a left or a right from Piotr Jan. Everything is landing. McGee can't seem to catch a break. Every time he throws a punch, it's blocked by Piotr Jan. Wow, what a performance from Piotr. Oh, big knee right up the middle from Piotr Jan. You know what? I'm actually a bit disappointed that McGee is doing what he's doing because this is sort of what I meant about Drickus. Drickus would not be doing this if he knows he's facing the best boxer in his division. He wouldn't just stand and trade with the best boxer in his division. He'd make sure that he fights the best boxer in his division, how you fight them. Well-rounded. You gotta throw in kicks, you gotta throw in clinches, you gotta throw in takedown attempts and takedowns, and you gotta put them on. Oh, another big right. Oh, Piotr Jan is absolutely destroying Marcus McGee in this fight. I'm happy because, come on, McGee, do something else, bro. I mean, and right now you can see the championship experience of Piotr Jan shining, honestly. Like, like he, look, Piotr Jan's a championship fighter. And I think this is him saying, look, I might be number 3. I know I haven't had a title shot in a while, but I'm still here. I hope he doesn't become a gatekeeper. I hope he can get another title shot because I genuinely believe he should get another title shot. They put him up against the Marcus McGee for him to prove that he needs and deserves that number 3 position. And I think he's proving that he deserves his number 3 position. And maybe give him another lower ranked fighter, and then maybe whoever is number 1 for number 1 contenders, and then whoever the champion is. So I think maybe this fight and maybe 1 or 2 more fights, and then another championship shot for Piotr Jan. But McGee was not the one to try and dethrone him from his current position. I mean, honestly, with who he's lost to in the last 3 years, McGee's just not, he's not that level to come in and mostly just box with the best boxer in the division. Not the brightest, not the smartest game plan, in my opinion. Shout out to everyone who is watching us, whether you're live, whether you're on playback. Thank you for joining me on the stream. Shout out Leroy in the chats, picking against Robert Whittaker. Y'all will never change. No, 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 no. Listen, Leroy, you know, as far as I'm concerned, once Bobby lost to the African, bruh, He lost two Africans. He lost to Drickus. He lost to Izzy. He just wasn't the same after that. And for me, it's the fact that he's not the same as he was before. Something happened. I love Bobby Knuckles. I think he's funny. He's hilarious. Seen him dressed as Hulk Hogan, Rip Hulk Hogan. He's a funny guy. He's an entertaining guy. He's a cool dude. But unfortunately, where it comes to his fighting right now, where he is in his career, I think he's a good gatekeeper, but I don't think he'll be anything more than that going forward. And I think Reinier de Ridder is on a march to a title shot. He's got the momentum. He's older. He is experienced. Unfortunately, he's not been fraud checked. He's doing the work he needs to do to make sure he gets to a title shot, even though he wouldn't beat Drickus, because no matter what happens, Drickus is going to be the champion when he possibly becomes the number one contender. But unfortunately, unless you're giving someone that's slightly lower ranked, I don't really rate Roberts right now, especially not against someone who's a submission threat like the Ritter, simply because we saw what Kamzat just did to him. If I'm Roberts, I'm scared. I don't want to get my teeth pushed in again. So therefore, it changes how I fight. And for me, that's really what I'm seeing is all the effects of his recent losses at the highest level. Don't get me wrong, at the highest level, but it does change how you fight because there's certain things that come into your game that you then need to consider. And I just think it's just not his time right now. Unfortunately, it has started to go towards the new era of middleweights. And I think Reinier de Ridder is one of those. And I think he loses this fight. But once again, as Leroy says, smash up the likes, people. Please do smash up the likes if you are watching live. If you are watching on playback, please do smash up the likes. We really appreciate that. It does help our channel. Now we're in round two of the fight between Marcus McGee and Piotr Yan. And it's more of the same. Marcus McGee trying to stand and bang with the best boxer in the bantamweight division and probably the top five boxers in the UFC, which, as I say that, tries a takedown. Piotr Yan is attempting to take down Marcus McGee. Well done, Piotr Yan. Well done. Stop any damage. You won the first two fights. Don't allow him to try and get anything back. There's no KOs. He's not a submission threat. Hold him up against the cage. Keep him locked. Don't injure yourself. Intelligent fighting. And that's what I mean by the level of Piotr Yan is so high. The fight IQ of Piotr Yan is so high that you have to put him against someone who can challenge that. And there's very few fighters in this bantamweight division that can do that. Bryce Mitchell has dropped down to bantamweight. Let's see if he happens to come up and becomes a challenge for a Piotr Yan because he's better on the ground. So he wouldn't try and trade well. He would probably try and trade with Piotr Yan, but then eventually it would get into a more grappling and potentially wrestling, but more grappling sort of match where Bryce is trying to assert his dominance in the clinch or on the ground rather than standing. So I think that would be a decent matchup for Bryce if he can maybe string another one or two wins. He can possibly get to fighting someone as skilled as Piotr Yan because I don't know, it's tough for Piotr Yan because if you are a championship level fighter, you need championship level opponents, and there aren't that many beneath him in the bantamweight division. So maybe Bryce Mitchell might be one of those now that he's dropped down to bantamweight and has his first win in bantamweight at bantamweight or in the bantamweight division. I know it's in the middle of the fight, but I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in just a minute. Shout out Leroy in the chats. Yes, he is Trip Vic, and we are back. That was the last round. The round has just ended between Peter Yan and I forgot who was fighting. Marcus McGee. Peter Yan, unanimous decision, 30. To be honest with you, I think he might have even gotten a 10-8 at some point in that third round, honestly. That third round was 10-8 for me. So I'm looking at maybe 30-26 by one of the judges, possibly. Let's see how the judges scored. But good fight from both guys, but particularly Peter Yan, mostly because why did Marcus McGee try and stand and bang with the best boxer in the bantamweight? Not the best decision, not good fight preparation, and quite frankly, not the best fight IQ because why would you do that? So I think he definitely lost that fight. But let's see. You never know what the judges are going to decide. That's what they say. Don't let it go to the judges. But being in Abu Dhabi, being Russian, which we know is very close, even though Piotr is not a Muslim, I think it still goes his way, not just because it's there, but because he absolutely dominated Marcus McGee. McGee had nothing to offer, honestly. Okay, let's wait for the judges. What the judges have to say. Unanimous decision, Piotr Yan. No question. No doubts. And quite frankly, no challenge from Marcus McGee. Oh, okay. Pieter's asked for his sons to come into the cage. Always nice to see when the fighters acknowledge their family. And here come the two little boys into the cage. Let's see if we see one of them actually fighting in the cage one day soon. I'm going to mute myself just to hear his speech real quick. So in his post fight, Peter Yan says that he wants the champion of, sorry, he wants the winner of Marab versus Corey. So he wants the next title shot, is what he's saying. He is number 3. So how many people else are there that can make that call? Like I said, I mean, you might have Sean O'Malley. Wait, bantamweight division, Sean O'Malley. Who's number 2 then? It's Sandhagen. So there's no one else ahead of him. There's no one else ahead of him. He is the only one who has the right to call for that. But having lost to Marab before, can he make that call? But having beaten Sandhagen before, I mean, I don't think Sandhagen's beaten Marab, but if he does, I think that Petr Yan might have a valid call to fight Sandhagen. Although O'Malley might have a valid call for another title fight, although he's had 3. Those will be his third in maybe a year and a half, and that's not usual. So we'll see what the UFC decides. But Petr Yan has said that he wants the winner of Sandhagen versus Divalishvili, which that'll be interesting. And now we get ready for the main event. Bobby Knuckles looking ready, the Reaper ready to take on the Ritter. RDR, Reinier the Ritter, the Dutchman, the Flying Dutchman. Ooh, the Flying Dutchman. If you're South African, you know about the Flying Dutchman. You know about the Flying Dutchman. And I think Reinier the Ritter counts as a Flying Dutchman. Let's see what happens. And for me, I like, and the main reason I went with him is I watched the weigh-ins and how the Ritter approached the weigh-ins was what you should be using the face-off at the weigh-ins for, which is to size up your opponent. He sized up Bobby Knuckles. He looked at him on the left, he looked at him on the right, he looked in his eyes, and then he did a height check. He looked over Bobby Knuckles and some, okay, I've got that advantage. I've got that additional height. And that for me is what gave me the confidence that this is going to go RDR's way. I think RDR is ready for this fight. I think he's ready for the UFC middleweight division. And I think he's got what it takes to win this fight. Shout out EFC. Let me mirror my camera, even though I'm already on a 2-hour stream, right? It's late for that. Boom. In the meantime, let's get back to what the Twitterverse is saying about UFC Abu Dhabi so far. Before we do that, let's get back into the chats real quick. Tripvic says he volunteers to fight the kids. You're gonna fight the kids, Tripvic. You sure you want to do that? It's Peter Jan's kids. Dangerous little motherfuckers there, I'm sure, with who their dad is, right? And then Tripvic says, isn't the Flying Dutchman from Pirates of the Caribbean? Yes, but in South Africa, Flying Dutchman is what we refer to as those very strong Afrikaans guys. Big, strong, they very Afrikaans, culturally orientated. We call them Dutchmen. I'm trying to remember the exact story about why I called them the Flying Dutchman, but yeah, here it's a thing. But thank you for that, Trip Vic. It is from Pirates of the Caribbean. So Twitterverse, let's see what they have to say about UFC Abu Dhabi so far. Any new comments? UFC Abu Dhabi has been a brilliant night of fights, says Notorious Uncle Deej. Follow, no follow? You give him a follow. Maybe he follows, maybe he don't. Let's see. Blood everywhere in the Shara fight, says Keith, kicking in the head. Yeah, that's me. No emojis. Yeah, happy with that. Okay. Then the next tweet from Middle Easy says Peter Jan lands a dominant decision victory over Marcus McGee at UFC Abu Dhabi. Yep, that's the one we just watched. And there we have Peter Jan with a nasty right hook, one of many on Marcus McGee. UFC professor Peter Jan. Oh, jeez. Okay. Strefamma.pl. Unfortunately, that is Polish or something. I don't know what you're saying. Let's see if Google Translate can help me out with that one. Translate post. UFC. Professor Petryan outpointed his opponent. Confident victory in Abu Dhabi, says strefmamma.pl, which I'm not sure what language that is. But we're going to follow Strefma MMA. Why not? It's neither follows. Neither follows. Skinny says, exciting to see the fusion of MMA and digital culture at UFC Abu Dhabi. I didn't see that. Where's that? Let's see. UFC Abu Dhabi YouTube legends, Naz UFC, and Mess Yourself. These fights are nuts. Gaming X MMA X crypto. Interesting. Okay, so this is just a snapshot of the guys who are attending UFC, some influencers that we see over there. Cool. As they show us the intro of the fight between RDR and the Reaper. Next fight, Glove Grid has put out a poll on Twitter. You can follow them on Twitter. I think it's the second poll they put out. I'm definitely going to follow Glove Grid. And I'm going to vote. And I'm going RDR all the way. Ooh, 64% of this poll of 28 people says they've got Robert Bobby, the Reaper Whittaker, winning this fight. Well, look, I think I'm only one of two in our underdogs competition who picked RDR. So, okay, I see why it's 64% for Whittaker, but I think a lot of people are looking at Whittaker's past victories, Whittaker's past glory. And one thing that we're not necessarily considering is the fact that RDR is a former double champion. Yes, it wasn't at the UFC, but double champion from one championship is something. Yes, the first fight in the night, Buchecha, coming from one championship, he lost dismally and very unexpectedly and got fraud checked. But the Ritter, I think he is bad news. He's a different breed, and I think that he gets this win. Trip Vic in the chat says he didn't know that. You're quite welcome, bro. You're quite welcome. Okay, let's continue to see what the Twitterverse has to say. Ooh, more Polish. Let's see. That's the Polish are really loving this. Or maybe Russian. Ooh. Let's translate that. The former champion is back to claim what's his. Piotr Yan outpointed the tough Marcus McGee and secured an important victory at UFC Abu Dhabi. Yes, he did. Yes, he did in the cage.pl. Let's see. Anything else interesting here to see? Nah. Just more. Ooh, the judges' scorecards. Okay, let's have a look at the judges' scorecards from that fight between Piotr Yan and Marcus McGee. Judge Mike Bell scored it in favor of Piotr Yan. Okay. He had the first, all judges had the first round for Marcus McGee, and then all judges had the subsequent 2 rounds for Piotr Yan. Mike Bell, Saldi Amato, and Clemens Werner. So we were talking about this on the prediction show yesterday, and everyone said Piotr Yan spends the first round downloading the information of how his opponent fights. Once again, turning back to Dricker's DDP. DDP downloads or creates that information prior to the fight with how he preps. Piotr Yan tends to do it in the first round. So he tends to lose the first round. But the problem with that is you don't know how the rest of the fight's going to go if you take your time to study your opponent in the first round, which makes him a 3-round fighter, at least for him to get the wins, which, if you go up against a Marab and O'Malley in a 5-round fight, there you're skirting, you're playing with fire, and hence he's had his losses. But here it worked. He lost the first round and he won the subsequent 2 rounds, and he won 29-28 on all judges' scorecards. Mike Bell, Saldi Amato, and Clemens Werner all scored it 29-28, with the second and third round going to Piotr Yan. Let's see, anything else interesting in the Twitterverse? Ooh, something else in whatever language this is, translate. Thank you so much, Twitter, and I guess AI and technology for these translations. Helps a lot with interconnecting all of these tweets, all of these posts, all of these comments with us who don't speak the whatever language this is, which I think was Spanish. Yeah, it looks like Spanish. But questioner says, in Abu Dhabi, UFC fighter Bryce Mitchell just quoted Jesus and mentioned a Bible verse. The courage of the Christian fighter is to be praised. Shout out to Bryce Mitchell after his win there against tweet. Now, who the heck did he fight? Let me put that up. Let's look at who Bryce Mitchell just beat. Bryce Mitchell just beat Said Nurmagomedov, of course. In Russia, mind you, by decision. Sorry, in Abu Dhabi, by decision. That's not an easy thing to do, to beat a Russian/Muslim fighter in Abu Dhabi. By decision, letting it go to the judges is not something you do in Abu Dhabi. We saw what Trip Vic called a robbery between Shara Bullet and Marc-Andre Barriol, where Shara Bullet was given the decision victory, but it was such a tough fight that it could easily be seen that Barriol would have won that fight. But unfortunately, we are in Abu Dhabi. We do know that if you are in Abu Dhabi, the judges do tend to go for the fighters that are closer to home, the ones that have what we would call home ground advantage. So the fact that Bryce Mitchell won in Abu Dhabi by decision against a Muslim fighter from Russia, Shout out to him. It was a tough fight, but he won that fight. He definitely won that fight convincingly, if you ask me. Back to the Twitterverse. What else we got here? Anything interesting? No, just more about how Shara Bullet won his fight. And yeah, okay. Right now we are in the let's go territory of the fight between RDR, Reinier the Ritter, and Robert the Reaper Whittaker. Ooh, another poll. Love polls. Who wins this main event in Abu Dhabi? Says Juan Manuel Queen. The Ritter. Interestingly enough, in the second poll for the fight between the Rim Whittaker, 19 people have voted and 84% say the Ritter. Very, very different results to the previous poll where I think 74% said Whittaker. Okay, interesting, interesting. Mikey Bats says, never say never, but Shara Bullet is not sniffing a yo. Okay, I already read this one earlier. Did I comment? Whose comment is that? He's not sniffing a title shot regardless. Yeah, so they weren't feeling that performance from Shara Bullet there. They think that shout out Trip Vic for the likes there, much appreciated. So they weren't feeling his victory there. They feel it wasn't good enough. It is what it is. It's a fight. You do what you do in order to win, and I think he did what he needed to do to win, and he won the fight. And there's Peter Yan getting his hand raised in victory against Marcus McGee. Shout out MMA Data Guy on Twitter. He has his picks so far. Let's see. He got that pick wrong. He got that pick right. He got that pick wrong, just like me. He got that pick right. He got that pick wrong, just like me. He got that pick wrong. So got you guys there. He got that pick wrong. Got you guys there. So I'm two up on him here in the prelims. And here he's got Krylov. We both got that wrong. Amabayev, he got it right. Magomedov got it right. Yan got it right. And now it's the final fight between Whittaker and the Ritter. He's taken Robert Whittaker. So on the main card, this is the only fight where we might differ. That's me and MMA Data Guy. Do follow them. Do follow him on Twitter. He puts out very, very interesting data-based predictions on YouTube, on Twitter. Great content there. Anything else interesting? UFC Stats says, "Dear MMA gods, please let this man win. We'll gladly sacrifice Brandon Moreno." Not sure about that. And he's talking about RDR, Robert the Ritter, Rainier the Ritter, obviously there. I'm not sure why. Oh, wait. I think I'm on my normal feed here. This is not UFC Abu Dhabi. But here we have Joshua Van saying, shaking my head to UFC Abu Dhabi. Shout out Joshua Van on his way to a title shot. His plan, my hand, says Marcus McGee, the maniac. Unfortunately, he just lost his fight to Peter Yan. And he has a little gift from Delinquent MMA showing the judo trip. Vintage Peter Yan. That's exactly what I said when I saw it. Unfortunately, I just stepped off the screen when he had that trip. But yeah, we're about to be live in the fight between Rainier the Ritter and Robert Reaper Whittaker. Twitterverse, we will see you later. Ciao. And let's update these pics on the screen. And the fight has started. So right now, RDR looks like a light heavyweight, to be honest with you. Robert Whittaker. Oh my goodness! Oh my good! Oh my goodness! He just grabbed Robert Whittaker's left leg and started yanking it, like just pulling it. That was wild. He's just what? RDR is one strong bugger. I'm really looking forward to seeing RDR become number one contender in middleweight and fighting Dricus, because they're both really, really big middleweights. They're very, very big middleweights. Robert Whittaker is a very small middleweight. This is his big weight. He's a welterweight fighter. So when he thinks of an alternative weight class, he's thinking about welterweight, not light heavyweight. If you look at RDR thinks light heavyweight when he thinks about an alternative weight class. So when it comes to hydration, he ends up being the bigger guy. He's 3 inches taller, and you can see the difference. Right now, he's got Robert in a nasty little clinch, just holding his arm and giving him knees to the body. There we go. Now they've got separation. Let's see what happens. Let's see whether Robert can close the distance and show why he is the Reaper. Shout out Leroy if you're still watching. Shout out Trip Vic. I know you're watching. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Love having you here. Anyone else in the chats watching live or on playback, welcome. The final fight, main event, Whittaker versus the Ritter. Yeah, I think I might be a little bit silent for this fight because this is a very exciting fight for me. I have been looking forward to this fight because, like I said, I like what RDR has just in terms of his physical attributes, his submission threat. Although right now he's being pieced up by Bobby, honestly. Bobby's keeping his distance and coming in with a nasty left jab. His jab, obviously, he's not a southpaw fighter, he's an orthodox fighter, so his jab's obviously his left, not his right. But his jab is landing, it's precise, and he's got the takedown defense that he needs to win this fight because you can't let the Ritter take you down. That's when you're in trouble. The Ritter's jab is a joke, honestly. It's not doing anything. Ooh! Oh, my bad. Just caught the Reaper on the, was it the chin or the nose? Hit him right here. What's that? Cheek. Cheek nose. The chose. This, the neck. Cool. The neck sounds like neck, so maybe not that one. In the chats, what do we have? Someone's commented. Tripvic says, didn't mark the American McGee with an X. Oh, snap. Yes, let me put that up. Thank you so much, Tripvic. You know what? Tripvic, shout out. Thank you so much, bro. You and Lane are absolutely priceless followers. I really appreciate you guys. You guys always looking out for me. Even last night when I had an entire muted episode, you guys were there for me, and I really appreciate it. You guys need to come on the stream sometime. Let's chop it up. Let's talk MMA. Let's just hear what you have to say. Would really love that. Thank you so much, Tripvic, for pointing that out. Wait, Leroy was correct about what, Tripvic? About me not supporting Whittaker? Yes. No, I don't. Depends on who he fights, but I see him as the perfect gatekeeper. But I just don't think he's going to keep the gate very well against RDR in this instance. But let's see what happens. I mean, oopsie, I need to change the current fight as well. Oh my gosh, all the way into the second round. 3 seconds left, and that's the first round. There we go. Change. Current fight, Whittaker versus the Ritter. That's the end of the first round. How do I score it? Tricky one, not easy, but probably Bobby Knuckles. But it is a 5-round fight, so let's see what happens. We haven't seen the Ritter go 5 rounds yet. We haven't seen him go 3 rounds yet. So let's see what happens. This is 5 rounds. You fight different in 5 rounds. You got to think better. Bobby Knuckles has the championship experience. Bobby Knuckles knows what a 5-round fight is. He knows what to do. So Maybe the experience of a 5 round fight is what will play through here. Maybe that's what's going to help him understand how to beat the Ritter. But so far, whew, nasty left hand right in the beginning of the round from Bobby Knuckles. I think Bobby Knuckles' jab won him that round. Definitely 10-9 Bobby Knuckles. And shout out to Vic in the chat, who says that I am his favorite muted live streamer ever. I'm definitely your favorite because I'm probably the only muted live streamer. So, thank you for that accolade. I really appreciate it, Trip Vic. Kick him in the head! To really just try a head kick. Ooh, and caught Bobby with a nasty left. Shout out, Trip Vic. Thank you so much. Okay, so if the first round has gone the way of Whittaker, let's see what the Riddick can do in the second round. Trip Vic in the chat says that the Ritter is a monster and he would not like to fight him. Yeah, he's a big boy. Yeah, he's a really big boy. I mean, he's what, 6'3", 6'4". The Ritter is 6'4". Bobby Knuckles is 6 foot. The Ritter has what, 5 reaches of inch, but you're not seeing it coming through in this fight so far. It's looking like Bobby Knuckles is not the more reached fighter, but he's coming in and out perfectly. When he needs to jab, he steps in. When he doesn't, he's just at the right distance to stay just outside of the reach of RDR. And RDR's jab is a joke, honestly. It connects now and again, like my Wi-Fi. For real, my Wi-Fi is a joke. It's a miracle tonight. It has held strong, and it's because I changed up how I'm doing it. So I need to do it like this more often. But RDR's jab is slow. It's telegraphed. It's not doing anything. But Bobby Knuckles is connecting with every single jab. He's racking up those significant strikes. He's definitely winning on the judges' scorecards, if you ask me, because he's doing more work. He's touching the Ritter. He's hurting the Ritter. The Ritter's the only one who started bleeding. Bobby Knuckles is just pink on the cheeks. So, yeah, definitely this fight so far. I've got Bobby Knuckles. Ooh. He hit Bobby Knuckles with a bone nickel knee. The Ritter hasn't had a single takedown. I think he's had like 7, 8. Ooh. 2 jabs in a row landed from the Ritter. Well done. After I talked all that crap. 6'4" is a big man, though. 6'4" is a big man. How does he make middleweight without looking like he made? Oh, big knee from the Ritter. But seriously, how does he make middleweight even after weight cut? But he still looks big. Wow. He must have, I would say, light bones, but that means he's probably breaking fights and he doesn't. So, yeah. But now Bobby's looking touched. Oh, big knee right to the nose and a takedown from the Ritter right onto the back. But Bobby Knuckles does a good job of turning around. But the Ritter is right into a submission attempt. Okay, Bobby's defending it well. Okay, so first knockdown goes to the Ritter. Okay. And now he's finally got Bobby where he wants him on the ground. Bobby's trying to squiggle out of the bottom, but the Ritter is holding him. And Bobby's got his feet on the inside butterfly. Can he push the Ritter off? How many seconds left? 1.5 minutes in the second round left. Can the Ritter work his way into some sort of submission before the end of this round? Ooh. Nasty left ground and pound from the Ritter. And we know this is where the Ritter does his best work, is on the ground. Shout out to Vic in the chats. He says, weight cutting is another sport on top of MMA. That is so true. That is so true. Learning how to precisely weight cut for your division and knowing when to switch over is so important. We can even point to Bryce Mitchell earlier tonight, who's dropped down from welter to bantamweight from light to bantamweight because, well, I'm not sure why, but he's dropped down to bantamweight and he looked like the same Bryce Mitchell. So maybe he was fighting too high earlier and hence he was being beaten up by your Josh Emmets and your Ilya Toporias. Maybe he's found his home in bantamweight. We don't know. One interesting thing about weight cutting is where it comes to amateur MMA and IMAF, they don't allow weight cuts. Weight cuts are not part of amateur MMA. And right now, locally, I'm just going to call out the stats very quickly. In terms of significant strikes, they have it Whittaker 14 to Derrida's 14 in the first round and 9 to 15 in the second round in favor of Derrida, which means Derrida won the second round and the first round is right down the middle, and I'm taking that 100% for Bobby Knuckles. So 1-1. 1-1 going into the third. This is a good fight. 1-1 going into the third. I think it's a very, very good fight. Trip Vic says, I could never do all that weight cutting. It's intense. It's insane. I don't even know how these guys do it. Because I walk around middleweight. For me to cut down to welter and then still fight, that would be mad, mad, mad. So I don't know how these guys do it, Trip. I don't know how they do it. But yeah, so amateurs, as far as the IMAF goes, the International MMA Federation, as far as IMAF goes, there is no weight cutting for amateurs. But now the EFC locally, they have their contender series of which they have a stack of amateur bouts. Now, how that comes in is that for no weight cutting, you do your weigh-ins on the day because you don't need time to hydrate. Whereas with weight cutting, you do your weigh-ins the day before because fighters need time to hydrate. So now they have the issue where if your fighters are cutting weight, technically they're doing something illegal because if you are going to weigh them on the day and they don't have time to rehydrate, they're more susceptible to injury, especially head and brain injury, than a fighter who hasn't cut weight. So weight cutting, like you said, it's another sport altogether in on top of MMA. And here we go. Derrida is actually lighting Bobby Knuckles up on the feet. He is. Oh! Oh! Shit! No! 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 Come on, Reinier. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What a knockdown from Bobby Knuckles. Oh, he just put Derrida not just on his butt, but Derrida was he was oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ground and pound from Bobby Knuckles is nasty. Derrida's trying to get out of it, but you can see he's dropped and he's back on his feet. Bobby Knuckles is bleeding out of his nose. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a fight, what a knockdown, my gosh. Um okay, that one got me. Um okay. Trip Vic in the chat says, "How tall are you, bro? Sorry for the personal question, but you look tall." Yeah, I'm 6 foot, so I'm basically as tall as Bobby. But Bobby cuts weight to middle, I suppose he cuts. But for me, I'm not that big, so I'd have to cut to welter. So I'd be a 6 foot welter, but I'm 6 foot. Powerhouse Knuckles. Yup. Yep. Oh, he caught him. The Ritter got rocked there. It was nasty business. This is a good fight. So far in this round, I don't even know what's going to happen in this third round right now. Because the Ritter's back on his feet, and I think he's probably going to take it a little bit, because that jab is nasty from Bobby. But I think the Ritter's going to take it a little bit slower after getting caught by Bobby there. Bobby's nose is all busted up. So when it comes to damage, we can give the Ritter the damage so far because there's blood on Bobby. But this fight, yo, that knockdown, because I need this win. Oh, Bobby just caught him on the chin with another jab, and here comes the takedown. Okay, the Ritter's got the takedown. He is in, what is he in? Half mount, full mount? I'm not sure. It's a half mount for the Ritter. Let's see if he can do any damage. Oh, yeah, this is a main event. I'm enjoying this fight, and this is why I want to see the Ritter take on DDP, because I think DDP is going to absolutely just floor him. But it's a good fight so far. And now we've got RDR on top with 1 minute 40 seconds left in the third round. So if this was a 3 round fight, well, we'll see when it comes to the judges' scorecards. But if this was a 3 round fight, I think by inches I might have RDR because he won the second. He got knocked down in the third, but now he's gotten a takedown. He's expressing dominance. He got back up. He might have the strike count because he's been lighting Bobby up. And now he's going for a submission attempt. So it might be inches or split if it was a 3 round fight, but it's not. So let's see how the last 2 rounds play out. There's 1 minute. Oh, 1 minute. Oof. There it is nasty on the ground. 1 minute left in the third round. I've enjoyed this fight so far. Tripvic says, if the Ritter can pull this off, you're probably gonna go top of the table. Yes, sir. That's right. Because I got my dog of the week this week. It's been 4 weeks since I got a dog of the week. I've been doing so trash, so ass. Yeah, I've been doing so ass the past month, but I'm back. But McDane, I think he also got his dog of the week. We had the same dog of the week, so we both doing okay. But I think he went with Bobby Knuckles, so this gives me an edge on him. So I'm looking forward to the Ritter pulling off this fight. Hey, where's my WhatsApp? Let me see how the boys are doing on this chat. And here we got 9 seconds left. Significant strikes, 23 to Whittaker, 9 to the Ritter in this round. Plus the knockdown. I think they showed us that because that means that was Bobby Knuckles' round, despite all the damage. So we're saying 2-1 to Whittaker going into the fourth round. Why is Ola busy talking about soccer in this chat whilst we're watching these fights, bro? Come on. Oh, and that knockdown by Bobby, by the way, he caught the Ritter so perfectly. Perfect right hook on the chin, took him down. Tripvic in the chat says, Tripvic, thank you for watching the stream with me. I really, for joining me on the stream, watching this fight with me. I really appreciate it. He has to take Whittaker down, right? Yes, he does. We know RDR is dangerous on the ground. And that seems to be what is panning out. But he lost the second round, I believe, or the third round, sorry. In my opinion, Bobby Knuckles is 2-1 up. So he needs these last 2 rounds or a finish. So he needs to take down Bobby Knuckles and submit him, which we know he's good at. But once again, Bobby Knuckles is a championship fighter. He's held a title before. He's been at that level. He's fought the best. He hasn't been on the best run, but he is still a top fighter. I mean, he is ranked number 5. He's not a slouch. So the Ritter needs to do something championship level for him to win this fight. And right now, So to Trip Vic, I'm putting this comment up so I can say I was this close from blocking you by mistake. What do you mean, bro? Arsenal is the best team. It's tough right now. We haven't won titles in a while, but we still gunners, we still gooners, we still like. Come on, bro. Can't talk shit about Arsenal, fam. Come on, Trent. Come on, Trent. I mean, and quite frankly, I know us Arsenal supporters are somewhat insufferable most of the time. You know, whenever you mention anything, we mention the Invincibles, which is now 20 years ago. No, 21 years ago. I think the Invincibles were 2004, 5. So we're almost 20 years ago since the Invincibles, you know. So it's tough. It's tough for us Arsenal supporters. But we love our team regardless. We're better than the shit show that Man United is now. And yes, unfortunately, that's the problem with us Arsenal supporters is we then go and talk trash about everyone else once we're under pressure instead of focusing on our team. So I agree with you. We are generally trash talking supporters for no reason. Oh, I'm a gooner, bro. I'm a gooner all the way. Weirdly enough, since Not Thierry Henry, but the guy who looked like him at that time, Nicholas Anelka. I was a huge Nicholas Anelka fan when he joined Arsenal in 96, 96, 97, I think. Yeah, the 2 years he was there. There was something about him and how he played that just made me really enjoy his football. And I was an Arsenal fan since. Nicholas Anelka. Oh, you're a United fan. How ironic that I mentioned United and started talking shit about United. And I think that's kind of the problem is us Arsenal fans, we just always want to talk shit about the other teams instead of talking about what we need to do better to get back to where we were. And I accept that from the other fans because that's what makes us insufferable. Every Man United fan I meet, you guys are so critical of your team, so critical of your team. And I'm like, but bruh, take it easy. Support your boys like we do, right? And that's really the difference I'll say between the Arsenal supporters and ooh, kick him in the head, Reinier the Ritter. Between Arsenal supporters and United supporters, you guys are critical of yourselves because you know you are the great and you want to get back there. Whereas we're critical of everyone else because we know we were the best and we wish we could get back there sooner rather than later. It's a very interesting dynamic, but hey, bro, sorry for your United team this season. It wasn't easy for you guys. At least we came second, messed up as always, choked, but cool. We can do things better next season. Oh no. I need to find my remote. My fights are gone. I hope that hasn't affected my stream. Okay, I'll have to be back in a second. I just have to go figure out my stream, what's going on. So yeah, Nelka was very good. He was amazing, but he had all those personal problems which kind of messed up his career. I'll be back in a second. So I'm back. I don't know what happened to my TV. It's totally screwed, so I had to switch to a different stream. And now we are on the fifth round between RDR and Bobby Whittaker. So I have no idea how the fourth round went. I have no idea how the fifth round went. I'll just have to wait for the judges like everyone else because we're about to go to the judges. But from what Michael Bisping sounds, it sounds like Bobby Knuckles is who he's expecting to have won this fight. Although he did just say that there's not much between them. And that's the end of the fight. 4 5 rounds. So I guess RDR does have championship rounds experience now. He's got 5 rounds experience now against RDR. Interesting. Let's see if he did enough. Let's see if he did enough. Because he'll need just one more fight before he can call for a title shot, I'm sure. And he will probably be calling for a title shot after this fight if he wins. Let's see what the judges find. Yeah, shout out to Vic. Okay, yeah, I know your team is okay. I hope you're still listening, Trip. But yeah, let's not talk about soccer anymore. Terrific in the chat says Ritter might have won this one. I hope so because I had it 2-1 to Bobby Knuckles going into the fourth. So depending on how he performed in the last 2 rounds. RDR by decision. RDR by decision. RDR by decision. Let's go, Trippic. Like you said, Trippic. RDR got it. I'm happy. 48-47 was it by split. So longest active win streaks in the UFC middleweight division. Third most active win streak. Interesting. Winner by split. But shout out Bobby Knuckles, honestly. I gave him a lot less credit than he performed. And I think I forgot that he's got championship rounds experience. He's got experience against fighters at the highest level. So shout out R for this win. I picked him, but it was much harder than I thought it was going to be. Habibi Abu Dhabi, Shukran, says RDR. So so he's got the fourth longest win streak. Drickus has 9, Cowboy Harios has 7, Anthony Hernandez, Fluffy has 7, and he is number 4 behind Khamzat, or tied with Khamzat, who has a title shot. claiming he can claiming he can finish Drickus or Khamzat in the first round. So he's saying that he's surprised by how tough Bobby Knuckles is. The guy that Drickus finished, and he's saying he wants Drickus next. The guy that Khamzat finished, and he's saying he wants Khamzat next. Come on, RDR, bro. I gave you more credit. I thought you was finished, Bobby. If Bobby took you to this level, come on, bro. Just you need 2 more fights before you get to the title shot. Too much, too many. You need 2 more fights. I'm sorry. Um, and shout out to oh yeah, we did it. We did it, Trip Vic. That's right. Let me put these up. The Ritter might have this one says Trip Vic. Yes, he did. Next, these judges better not, and they didn't. Yes. We did it. Yes, we did. Trip Vic, top of the table. We're coming for you. Let's go. That's right. Very gracious defeat. Bobby Knuckles. Very nice. And shout out RDR. I think that was a hard fought victory. He's gotten his 5 rounds in, beating a former champion. So his record is looking better and better in the UFC. Great. Shout out to him. Shout out. It is a good night from Abu Dhabi, and I think it's about to be a good night from me too. I really enjoyed that fight night. Trip Vic, bro, thank you so much for joining me on the stream. Had a good time chopping it up with you. I did decent on this card. My picks were great. They didn't go too pear shaped for the most part, but looking forward to the next UFC fight card. But to everyone listening, please do comment, like, subscribe at headkickpod on all platforms. You can find us every Friday, UFC prediction show. You can find us every Wednesday, Dust Up Shakedown with the Fight Week Show, Rambling That Podcast, Making the Walk, S Dogs MMA Talk. Who am I forgetting here? Crossover MMA. I haven't mentioned Cross once in the stream. Sorry, Cross, my bad, bro. Crossover MMA. Who else do we have in there? Who am I missing? Aki the Kraken. Shout out the Kraken, by the way. Elite Slap Sports, if you're looking for slap sports in South Africa, in Africa. Shout out Elite Slap Sports, run by Aki the Kraken. Who else we have in there? Who am I missing? Someone's gonna be upset with me, but yeah, that's who we got. So please, everyone, do like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, don't forget to kick him in the head.